Greetings, queens and kings, if you stopping by. Welcome back to my channel, beautiful people. I hope you don't hear any salsa music coming from the background. I hope so, because I don't want YouTube to flag me. But they're playing in the background, so hopefully you do not hear it. But family, I hope you all had a great week and weekend. We are up on the finale of Sistas. Rich, go get your woman. Come on, family, let's get into it. Now, we know last week we left off, Jordan came to confront Andy after getting the word from Rich, and you can see in her eyes the adamant torture she is going through from having to lie to Jordan. You know, he's basically telling her, I know Gary got something on you. She can't even face the man, which is, you know, a bona fide sign that she's lying. She can't look this man in the eye. She finally turned around and basically was almost about to break. She had to turn away again because he's, you know, telling me this can't be true. You mean to tell me when, you know, I'm touching you or he's holding you, you're not thinking about me? And, you know, just trying to have her feel what they had. And, you know, she really was about to unravel, but she stood her ground and continued to lie that, you know, when she saw, you know, him and Penelope together, it brought back all these old feelings. You know, everybody knows this is a bunch of bull. You're not fooling anybody. So he stormed off and said he's getting to the bottom of it. And, you know, he's basically going to address Gary. And she broke down with Fatima. When Fatima came in to see how she was doing, she was crushed because she hated hurting him. Now, back at the salon, well, let me tell y'all, family, what's his name? Trey or whatever. Listen, I was like, brother, you are all right with me. You know, Karen confronted him about Pam seeing him with that chick out at the grocery store. I didn't know what he was. I thought maybe he was in the alleyway or something of the shop, but come to find out he was somewhere in the making out by a grocery store. And he said that him and Pam never, you know, said that they were exclusive. So he was honest about that. And, you know, she basically said, you know, I know Pam is upset with me, but, you know, that's still my girl and I care about her and I don't want to get hurt. And he really has feelings about her, for her. And Karen basically was like, come clean, you know, let her know how you feel, because she said, you know, she going around the office skipping like, you know, he the one. And he didn't know she felt that way. Now, Danny, I'm so proud of her. Put in the comments what you think about Danny. I know some of you are still upset, saying she getting what she gets because of what she did to Preston, and I agree. But her level of maturity this season and really dealing with the therapy, with the therapist Fatima, you know, suggested for her is really working well, because when she feels like she's about to unravel and go through something, like she told her therapist, talk me off the ledge, because she don't want to beat, you know, Sister Soldier. And, you know, basically that's what she told her. You know, everything that she's going through so far and how she has to deal with this situation dealing with the situation with Tony and the fact that his ex-wife wants him back. So I'm glad she's handling this in a mature manner. Now, when it comes to this situation now with Fatima, she's at the office and she's still, you know, Andy is just breaking down. You know, I'm like, oh God, KJ, you really got the ugly face. You got the ugly crying face. And Fatima was like, listen, you do not have to marry this man. I'm going to handle it. And you know, Fatima's about to pop off. Now, Zach goes to Karen's house to help Aaron with the cribs. And, you know, this whole situation, and please put in the comments what you think about it, because, you know, of course, Zach, you know, his pride doesn't want to look at the instructions. He think he can have it. You know, you do your crib, I'll do mine. But the thing is with this whole thing is the conversation with Miss Linda. and really Miss Linda basically telling uh the guys how they really need to look at the situation when it comes to co-parenting. Made like Zach is no good with his hands. You basically can't figure things out. Like he's not too smart when it comes to the mechanics of things. And I'm like, Deval, he takes care of the Ellis household. He fixes up everything. Because I follow him and Kadeem on YouTube, and I know our brother know how to fix stuff. But Zach, his character, she making like he can't do anything. And I really didn't like that he's only good for his money, his newfound wealth that he came into. And I don't think that was fair. And she made like you worry about, the twins' college fund, which I don't understand why Zach has to pay for two college funds, because Aaron should have some coins. Take care of your baby's college fund. I think Zach personally need to just deal with his. So he ran to the car to get his tools, and Miss Linda just left him alone. But put in the comments what you thought about that storyline. Now Pam is all excited to see Trey, and Karen went in her office because she knew they had to have a little talk. So, he basically let Pam know that, your girl talked to me, and she was like, oh, she did. And yeah, she was looking out for you. And she told me, she caught me, and I forget the girl's name, because Pam evidently knew about it. She knew that they wasn't exclusive and that he had been seeing someone, but I guess they had their own understanding. But he let her know, I do want to be exclusive. I really care about you. He knows now how she feels about him, and evidently he's really liking Pam. And he told her, you need to break off some coins. Look at this whole situation from Karen's point of view, which I respect from him, to let her see you need to give this woman some money from Roots to Riches, because you basically have been taking advantage, Pam. So I like he told her that. Now, this right here, oh my God, if this doesn't piss me off when it comes to ditzy behind Sabrina, I don't know why she plays so gullible. She's like head over heels. Well, first Karen called her up to see if she's already with the, to get ready to go for, I guess, to take her eggs or whatever, and gave her a little pep talk because the girls are going to meet her at the hospital. So she's nervous, trying to relax from that. But this guy pops over. Now, you're supposed to just be a sperm donor, but you getting a little too personal. Coming over to her house, she, making like they in a relationship, which I think is very disrespectful to Rich. Mind you, they only been together like about 3 months, and she want to put this whole baby thing on Rich. And I think she should have gave the man at least a year to maybe change his mind. But she's in this whole big rush. Just met this guy who interviewed her. Now y'all all cookie crunching, all cool and everything. And he's basically taking advantage. I don't trust him any longer. His whole attitude and disrespect towards Rich, this is her man. And you should understand he's feeling some kind of way. And so I don't like that whole situation. He didn't even bother to excuse himself until he saw Rich really pissed off. And I don't like the fact that Sabrina was basically siding with this guy, Delaney or whatever his name is, against her own man. Like, yeah, he's upset. It's not cool that he sees him up in her apartment early in the morning with flowers. It's understandable. If the shoe was on the other foot, I don't think you would like a woman there early in the morning either, helping him prep for his surgery or whatever the case may be. So my man gonna get slick with the mouth because Rich don't feel cool with this man. It's a personal thing now. You're not just a blind sperm donor. You being involved in my woman's life, and now you getting her sperm. So he eventually left, and Rich was ticked off. And basically, like, you go on ahead, you go have your nice procedure. But, oh boy, he can see he wants you. Now he coming on the attack with Rich. And I see this man being heavily involved with this whole situation with the baby. He's not just going to walk away. There was no document signed as of yet. You don't know if he has a clean bill of health. Have you seen any reports, Sabrina? So Rich left. He was pissed. And basically, I was pissed too. And I'm pissed at Sabrina. Now, here we have Hayden with Tamara, trying to talk to her. She pissed off because, you all dealing now with old lady Marie and that whole situation that she don't like. But he was like, you are not one to be questioning me. Because number one, let me see what's in your phone. Every 5 seconds, I see you on the damn phone. And then she turned her head and he was like, yeah, I thought so. Because she didn't want to get that phone up. And so enough is enough with you, Tamara, because you really can't say anything with all the scandalous mess you've been doing with Gary, who he thinks is a friend, but nowhere near it. Now, Fatima comes over to the house pissed because for some reason, when she left the office, she came to talk to Hayden because she thought Tamara could give her some information thinking that Hayden is in, a part of this whole thing with Andy and Jordan. And she was like, no, right now Hayden is just worried about the case with Miss Marie, and he has nothing to do with whatever the situation is with Andy. And she's like, well, what's the situation with Gary and Andy? Because she knows she been dealing with Gary and catching feelings with her dumb behind. So she slipped because Tamira don't want it to seem like anybody has anything up on her. So to be slick, you don't have to worry about your girl with Gary, because I heard he getting some bomb ass pussy or whatever she said. And I'm like, you know what, girl? He done played you. He done playing with you. Now he got what he really wants, and that's Andy. But once she made that comment, Fatima was like, yeah, okay, thank you. You gave me all the information I needed to know, because let her run her mouth a little too much without thinking. She went and said a little, gave her some information on who Gary is actually getting the bomb, you know what, from. So Fatima said bye-bye and insulted her on how she living. Because she think, I guess, Hayden Little House is a little downgrade. So now Danny is coming over before they stop to the hospital to talk to Andy. And she, I guess she was thinking about her therapy session and realizing that somebody else needs a therapy session, and that's Andy. So Andy trying to play it off all smug, like, no, this is real with me and Gary. And she's like, basically, I'm not falling for the bullshit. I'm not. I don't know why you think that your girls don't know you, Andy, and know that something is up. Just be on the up and up with them. Stop lying and be straight. I mean, these your ride or dies. So just tell them. So Gary, he had the office, and Jordan came in like Captain Saberho. He had me cracking up like, boy, what you doing to Andy? I'm like, calm down, Jordan. You are not from the streets. You and Penelope are not from the streets. You can't handle a diabolical guy like Gary. You two probably have this privileged life. Didn't have to work a day in your life. Very sheltered. Upper class suburban neighborhood, and you don't know the grunge like the devil Gary. You have not been down to the pits of hell where this joker is, and you cannot fathom the mind of this brother. And so, his little threats didn't faze Gary. Gary said, don't worry, go on with your business. I got your girl now, and I'll take care of her. He put his little stuff together. Now, Jordan came over to see Rich, to vent, of course, and the brothers are talking about their little woman situation, and basically all of them are messed up. My woman is basically, she about to be the bride of Frankenstein with this crazy Gary. He's like more like Beauty and the Beast, and dealing with that whole situation. Tony's talking about, well, at least you ain't, your ex trying to mess up your woman. She's sending her, pictures of her boobs on the phone, and now that messed up a situation between him and Danny. And then Rich got the situation with a man trying to give my woman his sperm, Mr. Pretty Boy, because he think, this good looking suit and tie brother trying to take my woman. So he's like, yeah, we batting 1,000. The dynamic, the trio is having a problem, boy, having problems. So now we have Sabrina waiting at the clinic. Her boy Maurice and True Maurice fashion gonna be there. So this guy pops up talking about he came early too, so he can avoid the Atlanta traffic, and she loving that. I'm like, see, this is a little personal. This is a little strange, a little unorthodox for a sperm donor, because normally it's anonymous. So this situation is basically a man who's not your man giving you your sperm, and you too blind to see that he actually likes you. She's so naive and gullible, like, no, he's just being a nice guy. No, he's not, Sabrina. Wake the hell up. So now Danny's leaving the office, and she's laughing at Hayden because he want to be all slick, like Andy's just there entertaining friends all the time. So she said, let me take out my mace and spray this roach. So, he told him, you supposed to be in this meeting. She said, of course I know about the meeting. I'm the one that called the meeting. And so he's telling her, she got to go to the hospital. So I don't know if she's just going to leave it to Hayden or what the deal is supposed to be, or she going to have this quick meeting before she leaves. But she said, you know what? It's not going to work. It didn't work for Marcus. It's not going to work for you with Boomerang, because I'm like Marcus, darling, with Lady Eloise. So now Fatima is here confronting Gary. And Gary, I'm like, Fatima, what happened to your street? What happened to your toughness from the streets? Because she came to confront Gary. Gary went off on her like, you crying, same old crap that you always do. And it doesn't faze me, Fatima, what you saying. He got his little security man over there in the corner. So she wanted to pop off thinking she could be in true Fatima fashion. Old boy snatched her up, grabbed her bag, pushed her to the ground, sits down there. I'm like, oh, hell to the no. Fatima, get up and go after that man. Attack him with your gun. Maybe she ain't want to go to jail. She up there like a little 5-year-old rubbing her elbow. I'm like, I'll be damned. But I said, now you done ignited something because you know Fatima what she about to do. Now all the girls made it to the hospital and Sabrina's all happy and everything. And this guy's there. She was like, oh, you must be, I forgot the guy's name, something with a D. And they think he pretty good looking or whatever. And I'm like, none of y'all talking Sabrina out of this. Like, this may not be a good idea. Like, does anyone think that she should not be getting this man's sperm? But they sitting there like it's okay. And of course, Andy gets a phone call from Gary. And Gary threatens her like, get your dog. Go get her. Because, this ain't going to work. I don't need your girl coming at me. And so now the brothers are talking to Rich. And Rich is struggling with this whole situation of, this woman. And Tony had a good talk with him. Like, Sabrina has herself together. Letting them know, having a family, having children. This is something I can't have with Andy now. I wanted to, but don't look like it's going to happen. Then Tony, Rich basically was saying that he never saw his life with children. He grew up with a big family. It was a lot of responsibility on him. I guess he figured this is something he don't want right now. But they talked to him and saying, this is something that you should really be considering. Go after your woman. He was like, you know what? I do. I love her. And this is not right to have another man give her sperm. So the brothers are really taking over the cafe until Tony gets back. Rich gets back. So now the girls are there and the nurse calls them and let them know it's about time. Who's going to go in? So Maurice is like, I'll go in with you. And so the girls, of course, thinking, yeah, of course we going to be there for you. We your girls. And so old boy took over and she was liking the fact that, she wanted him there. And I'm like, oh, hell no. So then Fatima, she called that infamous call we knew she was going to make to Madam saying, I need your help. Homegirl is pissed. She probably got a little bruise on her elbow and everything. So now Karen, why she sitting like that? Why she sitting like she's squatting, about to have a baby back in Africa? Legs wide open, holding that belly. I'm like, come on, Karen, sit up. Be a lady. So, listen, now this was key. Maurice was talking to Andy about Miss Marie. Now, check this. And Andy better been taking notes because this will blow her case wide open. Now, Maurice was like, okay, is this Miss Marie's husband that's getting a divorce? And she's like, yeah, that's him. Well, child, that man has been on his fan page like his number one customer. Now, we know why Miss Marie not doing the do now. So Rich runs in there to get his woman. They told her she's in the back. The people like, this is unorthodox. You can't be in here. This is the man's sperm who we basically supposed to have. Who are you? He's like, I'm her man. And, that's my woman. And nobody, this bastard here, whatever he called them, this bastard right here will not be giving my wife, my woman, his sperm. And I was like, you go, Rich. You doggone right. This man, and he got an attitude like, what? Like, what he doing here? Yes, this is his woman, not you, brother. And if he changed his mind that he wants to give his woman his sperm, then so be it. You respect that. You step to the side. I'm sorry, this brother got another ulterior motive. I don't trust it. Sabrina better open up her eyes. So what do y'all think Sabrina is going to do? You think she's going to go with Rich and say, okay, I'll take your deposit and go through the test with him to make sure everything is clear? Or she going to continue to proceed with this stranger she don't even know? Because let me tell you something. She's going to have hell to pay next season if she goes with this guy's sperm. It will not be how she think it's going to go down. I see him as another Gary. What do you think? We shall see. We have one more episode to the season finale, family. Have an amazing week on purpose. Remember, live the life you deserve. And please stay authentically you because you are enough. Until next week, peace and love, family.
eyes.